Donnie's was earlier today having a little bit of a meltdown over on Truth Social. All caps. What a shocker. Fake news CNN together with the failing New York Times. Let's just pause right there. Keep in mind, he's been saying that the New York Times is failing for a decade. We press on. Fake news CNN together with the failing New York Times have teamed up in an attempt to demean one of the most successful military attacks in history. The nuclear sites in Iran are completely destroyed. Both the Times and CNN are getting slammed by the public. He posted this: obliterated. Michigan lawmakers react to U.S. airstrikes. He posted this: we busted all of these bombs and bunkers. He quoted Hegseth, based on everything we have seen, and I've seen it all, really, in all your years of Sunday Fox News hosting. Our bombing campaign obliterated Iran's ability to create nuclear weapons. Trump broke CNN, right? Ted Cruz. No, he didn't. Quoting Waters, Trump doesn't have time for this fake news. Except our own agencies are saying we didn't obliterate shit.
You said totally obliterated. The president has said totally obliterated the Iran nuclear program.
Yeah.
Do you know for sure where all the highly enriched uranium is?
Well, Brett, I think that's actually not the question before us. The question before us is, can Iran enrich the uranium to a weapons-grade level, and can they convert that fuel to a nuclear weapon? And we know, based on the success of our mission, of course, the leadership of the president, but the incredible skill of our military, that the two mission objectives are completely successful. We know that they cannot build a nuclear weapon. Now, you asked about the highly enriched uranium.
Yeah, like 900 pounds of it.
But what we know, Brett, is that uranium is something that exists in very large supply. Our goal was to bury the uranium, and I do think the uranium is buried, but our goal was to eliminate the enrichment and eliminate their ability to convert that enriched fuel into a nuclear weapon. I think that's an important point, Brett, because so many of the folks who have focused on the highly enriched uranium,
sure, 60%.
The main focus, Brett, has been to destroy their enrichment capacity, because we don't want that 60% uranium to become 90% uranium. That's the real concern, and that's what was so successful about our mission.
So after all this, if the Iranian government survives as is, what's to stop it from rebuilding over time if they in fact moved the 60% highly enriched uranium? That's the concern.
No, the big concern, Brett, and this is again what we destroyed, is their ability to enrich uranium. If they have 60% enriched uranium, but they don't have the ability to enrich it to 90%, and further, they don't have the ability to convert that to a nuclear weapon, that is mission success. That is the obliteration of their nuclear program, which is why the president, I think, rightly is using that term. But here's the question. If Iran is desperate to build a nuclear weapon in the future, then they're going to have to deal with a very, very powerful American military again. Our hope is that the lesson that the Iranians have learned here is, look, we can fly a bunker buster bomb from Missouri to Iran completely undetected without landing once on the ground, and we can destroy whatever nuclear capacity you build up. I think that lesson is what's going to teach them not to rebuild their nuclear.
That's what the vice president says. Now, what does the intel community say?
So you've got some major breaking news. An early U.S. intelligence assessment now reveals that the strikes on Iran did not destroy their nuclear sites. This is new exclusive reporting from CNN. It says that the strikes did not destroy the core components of Iran's nuclear program and likely only set it back by months. This was an assessment produced by the intelligence arm of the Pentagon, the Defense Intelligence Agency. These early findings completely contradict Trump's claims that the strikes, quote, completely and totally obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, told CNN that their reporting was wrong, but then said that the information they received was, quote, top secret, but was still leaked to CNN by an anonymous low-level loser in the intelligence community, which sounds like a flat-out admission that the story is entirely true. We're going to keep following this and more, so make sure.
Three sources tell CNN that according to an early U.S. intelligence assessment, the U.S. military strikes on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities last weekend did not destroy the core components of the country's nuclear program and likely only set it back a few months.
That's right. So this is an assessment that actually is out from the Defense Intelligence Agency. That is the Pentagon's intelligence arm. And it was based on a battle damage assessment conducted by U.S. CENTCOM after the strikes, according to one of the sources. Let's go to CNN national security correspondent Natasha Bertrand, who has...
So the Pentagon itself says, yeah, that's not true. We didn't obliterate shit. We sent him back a few months. Trump's response?
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
That's odd. Why are you attacking CNN and MSNBC instead of the Pentagon, who released the report? You're attacking CNN, you're attacking MSNBC, but you're not saying anything about the Pentagon, who are the ones that released the report that said that what you said was inaccurate. Guys, how many times are we going to go through this before you fucking people start waking up and realizing that Donald Trump is so full of shit his fucking eyes are brown?